Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be doing the first update video of 2025 for my channel. Today is the 24th of January of 2025 and I'm going to basically just kind of show you what's kind of all going on with all the machines I've got at the moment. As I've got a new addition that I've kind of shown already in the community posts, and we finally got this Samsung washing machine working as well. So I'll start with this Samsung and I'll work through them all, kind of explain what's kind of happened to some of them. Some of them, to be honest with you, nothing's really changed. They've just, moved over a position like this Hotpoint has. So anyways, it will make sense to start with this machine, as this has been my biggest headache for the past month. I'm not even joking. This machine, I got it on the 23rd of December last year in 2024. And when I got it, it was broken with a faulty pump, and the pump had already been changed, and I have even got the original pump here. So this is the original one it did come with. You can see the date on it. 2016, what's that, December 14th. So that won't be too far from when the machine was made. So it was already changed when I got it, and both pumps work. I put direct 240 volts to them and they worked. So I obviously put it on a spin just to see if it would get through the spin and finish it, and it did, but the pump didn't come on. But I heard the relay clicking on the board, so I was kind of thinking, well, I was a bit baffled by it at that time, because I was pretty certain that it would just be a relay fault, which it could have been. I'll get into why it could have also been a relay fault, even though I was hearing a relay clicking, once I've kind of gone through the whole nightmare I went through with this machine. So anyways, that happened, I tested it, and on the same day I kind of had the whole machine apart, had the front off it, and I was kind of going through the wiring, and I thought there was a bodge bit on the wiring. So if we look at this wiring here, as you can see, I took a photo of this and I initially thought this was a bodge. If the camera focus, I thought this was a bodge, but it turns out it's not. So anyways, I basically did a lot of testing to see if I was getting power to the pump, and I wasn't, and I was just doing loads of tests with it just to kind of work out what's going on. So I put it in service mode and tested the eco bubble pump, and it worked, but one of the water valves wasn't working. So I was kind of a bit like, this is a bit weird. So I kind of was starting to think circuit board from that moment. But then I didn't really think much of it. I just tested the water valves independently with direct 240 volts, and they both worked. And then I just was like, right, we'll just put it in the shed and we'll go from there, because I started to kind of think it was a faulty wiring loom, even though I mean, it was just kind of what I thought at the time, but obviously it wasn't that. Anyways, we put it in the shed, it stays in the shed for a while, and I cut the circuit board, the original one this machine had, out of the jelly stuff that these circuit boards on these Samsungs are putted in. And I did that, couldn't find any faults with it, so I put it all back in. And then the door lock circuit must have broke, because whenever I was pressing start, it just wasn't locking the door. So I kind of thought, you know what, we'll buy a new circuit board. As someone was selling this fascia here with the circuit board already attached, and apparently it was fully working. So I put that onto this machine and tested it, thinking, right, this should cure my issue, and it didn't. It still was doing the same thing. So I started to kind of think, oh, maybe it is a wiring loom. So I bought a new wiring loom, and I was going to put it on it, but then my mum's partner actually made a very interesting point, saying how the door lock was connected to the wiring loom. And I thought, well, he has a point. So I thought, I'll buy a new door lock as well at the same time. So I did, and I fitted it, and nothing happened. It still did the same thing. I have, to be fair, filmed doing some tests with this machine, so I might just incorporate all that in this video. So I might just incorporate it now, and then I'll go off from there once you've kind of watched the videos. So I've been doing some extensive testing on this Samsung washing machine today. I've been testing these wires individually to see if I'm getting any voltage. across them, like, you know, from this point to wherever it goes up to. Because originally I tested both of these wires to see if it was making a circuit when the pump should have come on, but I wasn't getting anything. And so what I've decided to do each wire individually. And I've been testing this blue wire just now, and I've got it on my multimeter, as you can see, and it's connected here, where it's also, it's where I thought it was bodged, but it's actually kind of meant to be like that. So I've got it all connected to see if I was going to get any voltage, and I don't get anything. And I do get continuity from this point to this point here, where the pump wire is actually connected. So I'm starting to think maybe it's a door lock issue, even though the door lock works. So I have ordered a new door lock, and that's on the way. And I've also worked out that this door lock is also connected to the heater, I think, and the inlet valve and the eco bubble pump. That black wire there, I think, does it all, as I've had a look at the wiring diagram of this sort of Samsung washing machine. So I'm going to press start now, and you'll see the multimeter will kind of jump up a bit when the pump comes on. So it is trying to send power to the pump, but as soon as it kind of does it, it just kind of gives up, if that makes sense. So I'm going to press start. And as you can see, the voltage kind of jumps up a bit. Let me pause it and then start again. As you can see, it gives it a little bit of voltage, which is kind of weird. So this is what I'm thinking, maybe it is the door lock is not quite right, and it's not sending the voltage down to the pump. So I believe maybe that's kind of a safety thing, that pump can't come on unless the door's locked. And obviously that part of the door lock might have failed. Let it go on again. Yeah, there you go. You can see it just do it there. It did kind of hold it that time. So I think it is a door lock issue, and I have got a door lock on the way to see if it will cure the issue. If it doesn't cure the issue, then I will try and bypass this wire and connect it to maybe up further on this wiring loom. Right, the pump should come on again. I think it's just clicked it off. Will it, or has it clicked it on? Right, it clicked it on that time, but I didn't get anything. I don't know, it's just kind of weird, to be honest with you. But if that door lock cures the pump issue, then I'm not going to complain. But I believe this wire's the fault. I don't actually think it's a purple one, although I haven't really tested it, but I'm not going to bother because I can't really test that one that easily. But if it doesn't get fixed when I put the door lock on, maybe I'll test that one as well, just to kind of see if that one is working. Right, let's just pause it a minute. So yeah, it's quite weird really why it's like that. I mean, I've never seen a washing machine have the pump connected to a door lock, but you know, every washing machine is kind of different in the way they've wired them, I suppose, and all that. Let's just do it again, see if it does it. I'm not getting anything now. That's kind of weird. Maybe the door lock's fully gone, I don't know. Either way, it's not, something's clearly not right where that connection is, but it is getting continuity. So if I turn it off, actually, switch it off, and let me set this to check for all, you know, the resistance between the 2 points, and you'll see that it is getting, you know, a good pathway for the voltage to travel down. So using both hands, then I've managed to turn it to the bit where it make sure there is a good connection, testing for continuity, if you will. And as you can see, that's all good. And if I remove this, there you go, it's gone to 1. I don't know if I can really reach and put it back in. I can't really see what I'm doing. Hang on. So if I kind of pop it back into the top here, as you can see, it's making a pathway. I'm going to take it off. So it's obviously got a good connection going through down to the pump, but there's just no power getting to the pump. So hopefully it is the door lock, and if it is the door lock, that'll be probably the first time I've ever seen a door lock issue related, a pump issue related to a door lock. As obviously, like I say, normally it goes straight from the pump to the PCB, no questions about it. So it's just a bit odd really. I don't know why they just didn't, I don't know, put a relay or something onto it, or no, they have put a relay on it. Maybe it's just an extra precaution thing, I don't really know. I'm overthinking it really. I don't really think I need to go into it. As long as it gets working eventually, hopefully, then it doesn't matter. So the new door lock's just arrived. This is the new one, and that's the old one with the screws in it. They seem to be the same, I think. I think there are slight differences. I think that's just more of an aftermarket thing. I've kind of taken a look. You can't really see that well on the camera. Yeah, it's slightly different, but I would have thought they are the same. I've kind of checked this point as well. There's 543, and it does match up with the connections on this one. So I think without further ado, I think we'll fit it and we'll see if it actually cures the pump issue. But yeah, no, they're just slightly different. But to be fair, I don't really think that matters, because whenever I put a new door lock on one of my old Hotpoints, the WMA 32 in silver that I turned into the 58 originally, I put a new door lock onto that, and it was completely different to what I actually had, and I had to swap the wiring harness the way it went, so the wires weren't going towards the front, it was going towards the back. It had instructions with it, because it was a new design or something like that. So I don't really think it matters too much than it being slightly different, but I'll fit it on now quickly, and then we'll test it and we'll see where we get with it. So then, the moment of truth, will it work or will it not work? I don't really know what to expect, but we press start and we'll see if the pump comes on then. Nope, it's not coming on. This is clearly a connection issue somewhere. I am going to try something, because I've got a few ideas up my sleeve, so I'm not going to give up on it yet. I'm going to cut this wire here. You can't really see it, but I'll cut that wire and I'll bridge it just to see if that'll work. As I've kind of I've understood the wiring and how it works a little bit now. Let's just pause it. It's a bit disappointing then, really. That ain't the issue, but at least we know the door lock was fine. So bear with me and I'll bodge my little idea into place and we'll see if it works. So yeah, you can see I tested the blue wire for power and I wasn't getting anything. So that's what kind of started to make me think more that we have got a door lock issue, even though the door lock was working. So I remember we got the door lock, obviously you would see in the videos, we put it on and it still didn't fix it. And then I said, oh, I'll bodge it and then I'll come back, but I never did, as I just kind of thought, well, this video is going to just be ending up pointless, because then nothing's really going to be coming off from it. So what I did was I did a bodge on this original wiring loom that this machine had, and so what I did was I put this orange wire coming from here down to the pump wire. So I basically cut this blue wire, which was originally going to the pump, thinking this little connection point here was the issue, even though it was getting continuity from it. So I was kind of just bridging it just to see if it would work, and it didn't work. It just, you know, the pump didn't come on. So then I put the new wiring loom into it and it still didn't work, and I was really just getting sick of it at this point, because the machine was in pieces and I just wanted to put it all back together and just, you know, get it out of my way or scrap it or whatever. So I obviously put the wiring in and it didn't work. So I went on to eBay, found a circuit board going for quite a lot of money, but luckily the seller did a bit of a deal and said if you send back the 2 broken ones, so you know, you do quite a big discount, and eBay had a discount code thing on as well, so I used that and it made it really cheap. And I'd sold some bits on eBay prior to this ages ago, so I had a bit of eBay balance or whatever you call it, so I just used that. So I paid next to nothing for this PCB it's got on now. So obviously I fitted this PCB it's got on now and tested it and it works. So I finally, after a month of this machine not getting any use or at all or anything like that, it finally works. Honestly, I was so happy that it's just working, because I was just getting really sick and tired of it. But you know, we've got there in the end. It was the 22nd of January I fixed it, so it was almost a month since I've had this machine and it hasn't even done any laundry. It still hasn't done any laundry, don't get me wrong, but I've used it yesterday on a, what was it, quick 20-minute cycle just to see if it would go through that, and it did. And I put it on an eco drum clean, and it was all drum cleaned out, and it, you know, went through that all right, and it's ready to be used. I think I'm going to use it tomorrow for towels and socks and some undergarments on maybe a baby care wash or something like that. It is a very clean washing machine, I have to admit. You know, it's a bit of water in there from yesterday. I might empty that out. Apart from powder residue in there, sorry. It's not too bad. It's quite clean for what it is. You know, it's cleaned up quite well. There was no mould in this machine at all. The drum does have a little bit of a warp, but I'm pretty sure it is just a warp. It ain't the spider going. What we'll find out eventually whenever I use this machine, but I'm hoping it isn't. You know, because the machine is very clean, so I'd like to think it isn't. So if I turn it on, you hear a bunch of relays kind of clicking, and before, this is kind of actually, right, so this is what I was trying to explain earlier. So basically, whenever you switch the machine on, you'd only hear kind of one relay clicking. So this is what kind of gives me the suspicion that some of the maybe like another relay or two was broken, because whenever I turn this on, you hear like another big click, and then you hear like other clicks. So I'm presuming that the pump has two relays, if that even makes sense. I'm not entirely sure why, but it was weird because whenever I would switch it on, it would make one click, whereas with this one, it makes multiple clicks. So if I switch it on, I don't know if you could kind of hear that, but it was a big click and then followed by these like little clicks, which it wouldn't do before. It'd only do the big click only. The wash times on this machine are pretty good as well, so we've got a lot to play around with on this washing machine. You know, it's pretty decent for what it is. It's a shame this is only limited to 800, but you know, it is what it is. 3 rinses, 40 max. Yeah, no, I didn't even know these had such a thing, to be honest with you. It's quite cool that it does. Dark garments is quite a short wash. It's probably be like one of my main ones with intensive. Daily wash, hour and 2, you can do 63 rinses, not more, 5 rinses, sorry. But I'll probably do this like for a towel wash or something like that with intensive. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to be doing baby care at 60 and all that, and 3 rinses without a pre-wash. So I've got a lot to play around on this washing machine, to be honest, and we'll make some videos of it and all that. Turn it off. And we'll see where we get with it. Hopefully it lasts, because I don't really think I'm going to be selling this machine. I would be wanting to get my use out of it, because I've put a lot of effort into this washing machine just to get it to work, and it's really just annoyed me. But you know, it's in fairly good condition apart from a few scrapes on the top and a little bit of a scrape on the side, for how old it is, you know. So hopefully we get some videos out of it. I'll be pretty annoyed if it dies within a few cycles in, after how hard I've tried to get it to go, and obviously now it goes. Anyways, enough about that Samsung. Here we have the Hotpoint Ultimate WT960. Nothing's really been going on with that. I think I've got a few videos of this to be published at some point. This used to be here where the Samsung was sitting, but now I've moved it here in the WMA48 spot, which I've also moved, which I'll show in a minute, which is literally just sitting right next to me. So yeah, nothing to really say about this machine, other than I was just using it as a daily machine, really. It was doing all my daily washes. And then next to it, we've got my beloved WMA62. I think it's great, that machine is, but I haven't even used it for about, well, I don't know, I've not used it in months at this stage, as it's in an awkward spot where I can't really plumb it in that easily. So maybe when summer comes around, I'll kind of look at it and look into like plumbing wise to make it so it's still usable in that little corner, because it just hasn't really been used that much at all. So I will make more videos of that eventually when I get the chance. As far as I'm concerned, it does work, but I haven't plugged it in for a few months, so maybe I'll give it a run at some point and make a few more videos of it. So over here then, we've got the WMA32. I haven't really used it a great deal, up until recently though, to be fair. It's a good machine, although it's quite basic compared to the other WMAs I've got at the moment. It's just very loud on the spin, to be honest. It is extremely loud. I think I uploaded a video not long back onto YouTube Shorts and my Instagram story of it spinning on the final spin with a full load of towels, and it is very loud. I can hear it in the house. Normally I can't hear them in the house unless they're spinning quite unbalanced, but this machine, no matter whatever load you have in it, you can hear it on the final spin. It is that loud. But it's a good indication of, you know, knowing when your laundry's about to finish, I suppose. But when I did, to be fair, when I first used this machine after not using it for a while, I did notice some like spider crumbs in the door sill. I'm not sure if a spider is on its way or if that's just kind of loose dirt coming from the spider, and maybe it is on the way out, but it's just kind of slowly disintegrating. I'm not really sure, but I might have not videos, but I might have some photos of the spider crumbs it left in the door sill. I'll have to search for them. I might do, I might not, but I'll add them in the video if I have. But hopefully the spider will be alright. It doesn't have any warps or anything in the drum, I don't think. So if I give the drum a spin, yeah, the drum don't look like it's got any. Doesn't look like it's got any warps in it, although the motor bearings are a bit rough on this washing machine, as you can hear. I think all the parts on this washing machine are pretty much original, to be honest with you. I wouldn't even be surprised if they were. Everything just seems so like untouched, if that makes sense. Nothing looked like it's been replaced or anything. The bearings, I actually do have a suspicion these are original. It's got the original bearings on it still, and I think it's got the, you know, original spider probably. It's definitely got the original drum as the holes are drilled out at the back. Door seal as well is probably all original. Yeah, this whole machine's probably just original. I don't think it's ever been repaired. Maybe the brushes might have been done on it at some stage, but who knows. I know it's had this little repair here. I don't know if you can see, it's been like, the soap drill's been like glued on. I think that's all that's ever been repaired on it though. If that's actually the case, and that's the only thing that's ever been repaired on this machine, you know, fair enough to it. But this is the thing, I don't really like repairing these older ones unless I have to, because I just kind of like leaving the original parts on it, because then it kind of shows that this machine's made it, you know, that many years with the original parts without having to be changed. I just feel like when you start changing all the parts, you just kind of ruin the sort of machine it is, because you're replacing it with, you know, new parts and you make it all, I don't know, I just feel like, I don't know, I can't really explain it, but maybe some other people might be able to kind of, you know, relate to what I'm saying by replacing all the parts on it, and then it doesn't feel the same way as it does with the original parts that it's come with, if that makes sense. I don't know, maybe I'm just chatting a load of rubbish, but that's just the way I feel. That's why I haven't really touched the shocks on it or anything like that. That's why I'm just trying to leave it as it is, and then if it does go wrong, then I obviously will repair it, but as of now I don't want to repair anything unless I actually have to, like bearings or something like that. But yeah, that's the WMA32. Up above then we've got the Hotpoint tumble dryer. Nothing to even say about that. It just does my drying for all my laundry. It's the only tumble dryer I've got at the moment. It's a good tumble dryer. It does everything quite quick actually, to be fair. I will give it that. It is really good for how long it takes to dry everything. But yeah, there's not really too much to say about that other than it just does my drying. So over here then, the machine I was standing next to at the start of this video, the WMA48. This machine obviously got repaired not long back with new spider and bearings, and I did a few washes in it and I haven't really used it much since. It's been laid up probably the same amount of time as the WMA62, as I kind of put it under the workbench, I think, as I've got another machine at the time, so I needed a bit more space. And both the WMA62 and this, just the plumbing situation from them both just wouldn't work out, so I never actually plumbed them both in. And obviously when these machines jump, I don't want them scratching the sides up, so I just kind of left them both not being used for quite a few months. But now the Samsung's under the workbench, I might be able to use this one a bit. Now it's in a better position to do washing. But to be fair, I think I'll need to do a drum clean before I use this one, because long story short, I use scent boosters in my wash, and I picked up this cardboard one. Hang on, I'll show you what I did. I'll do a bit of a demonstration. I won't actually do exactly what I did, but basically the scent boosters were like here, and I picked it up mistakenly by here, and it went like that, and it went all over my floor, and it went all under the machines pretty much, and I was quite livid, and it went all inside this machine. So this machine literally reeks of them scent boosters, which ain't a bad thing. So if I open the door, then you might see some remnants of these scent boosters. Yeah, there's one in there still, and they've kind of like melted around where the holes are. Yeah, it's not melted, but they've just dissolved from the moisture in the shed probably. There's probably loads down there, but you can't even see them. The machine really does smell very strongly of these scent boosters. It's quite strong. As you can see, there's some there that I haven't cleaned out that I'll clean out later on, and there's still some up there that I need to clean out. So this whole machine is just infested with scent boosters at the moment, but don't matter. A good old machine. I do like this one. I've had it for almost 3 years now, I think. Crazy. But yeah, and there's nothing really else to say about this machine other than it just hasn't been used for a while. If you've got any ideas of anything you want to see washed in these machines, or any cycles or anything specific, I mean, you know, I guess you can ask and I'll see what I can do. I'm not promising anything, but you know, I'm happy to see what your ideas are. I think let's go outside and we'll see what's out there at the moment. So outside then, we've got this heavily neglected Beko. I haven't really done much with it since the video of no shocks in the towels. As far as I'm concerned, it does still work, but I haven't really tested it, to be honest. It's been out here for weeks at this point and I haven't even used it, so for all I know, it may not even switch on anymore. I have got more video ideas that I do want to do in it, so it will be good if it does work. But if it doesn't, then I'll just throw bricks into it and destroy it, as that's its ultimate destiny anyways, as that's eventually going to happen with this machine. But I have got quite a few ideas of what I want to put in it, but I'm not going to spoil them in this video, as I want to kind of, you know, save it as a surprise. But you know, it's kind of just been sat there collecting dirt and mold. I'm pretty sure looks pretty filthy in there. It's got mold on the plastics somehow. I think that was already like that when I first got this machine, but it's definitely gotten a lot worse. It's just mold everywhere. It's even white mold. That's really bad, but I don't really care, to be honest. I think there might even be mold up there. Is that white mold? No, I just think it's moisture more than anything. I would leave the door open, but then water would just get in the machine when it rains. The motor actually don't sound too bad. That's really smooth for what it is, even though it's been left out here for months. But yeah, it's just grey at this point. You know, it's got a lot of dirt all over it, and I'm not really that bothered by it. Other than, you know, it's just going to be destroyed anyways. As for soap drawer, I don't know about that. It's not too bad. I don't think anything's really changed. I don't think it's got any worse with mould. Probably has, but I can't really tell. It was mouldy whenever I got it, so, you know, it don't matter. Like I say, it's only going to be destroyed eventually. So then, I think as I'm outside, I'll go out to the garage and I'll show you my latest edition that I got on, I think it was Wednesday I got it. So let's go out in the garage and we'll take a look at it. So then, this is the latest edition that I got on Wednesday this week. So the, what's that, 22nd I think it was, I got this, of January. It's an LG direct drive, 11 kg, model number F1495KD6, made in Korea. It's quite a nice washing machine, I think, but it's got a fault where it keeps tripping the power apparently. I haven't looked at this yet, but I think it does turn on, because when you spin the drum it kind of does light up a little bit. I don't want to keep doing it just in case it damages the circuit board or something like that, because I don't really think it's good for the circuit board, because you're kind of underpowering it. Some people have said steam generator, some people said heater, and I think, to be honest, I think it is probably one of the two if they haven't been looked at. But I won't know until tomorrow, because I haven't got time to look at it today. I'll look at it tomorrow and see what I can do with it, and if I can get it to go, then I will. It'd be quite nice to get this to go, to be honest, because I want to put it next to the Samsung. I think it would look quite cool together, having two, you know, quite nice washing machines next to each other. The only thing is, it is the Centum, I think that's what you say, it's Centum design, as you can see. It's the weird drum design with where the drum goes up and down and the door sill is independent to the drum itself, if that makes sense. So if I push the drum here, I don't know if you can really see it. You see how the drum kind of moves. and the door sill doesn't really move with it. But I think this white mold here is just from not being used. It isn't the cleanest, I've got to be honest. It is quite grim, but I mean, if I can get it to work, then yeah, this ain't the cleanest washing machine, definitely not. But if I can get it to work, then I will, and I'll give it a good clean. This is what I mean. I think it's just been laid up for a while. But like I say, it should clean up quite well. I didn't really pay much for it. I only paid, I think, £20 for it, which ain't too bad. I think this is just kind of a white mark. I don't actually think that's on the paint. I might give it a bit of a wipe over, as it is quite dirty, as you can see. When I get this machine in the shed, I may just have to put it in so the front bit of the washing machine goes in first, because it's so big. Because normally I'll have them on their side and I'll wheel them in like that, and normally that works, but as this machine's so deep, I don't think it'll work like that. But you know, it'd be nice if I get it to go, but I mean, I won't be able to test it today. I haven't got the time. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get it tested and we'll go from there. And if I can get it to work, then happy days. You know, I think it'd be quite a nice washing machine if it does work, but I just don't like how complicated everything is, really, because you know, when you get to this sort of spec with washing machines, with all these circuit boards, direct drive motors and all that, this is when things start to go wrong. But I think someone said it's 2014 made, so for 10 years I suppose it's actually done all right. It's kind of lasted the sort of time washing machines are meant to last nowadays, I think. But yeah, no, I think this is the first LG I've ever had, so you know, it'd be quite cool to get it going. But you know, if I can't get it going, then I'll just have to parts it out, really, I suppose. But it's definitely been used a lot, I think, from looking in the inside. But I might give it a bit of a wipe over now when I get the chance, or yeah, like I say, I might give it a bit of a wipe over now, and test it tomorrow and see where I get with it. As like I say, it's just I think more dirty, like marks and all that, just needs a wipe. So I reckon that dirt on the door sill will probably just come off by wiping it. So I think it's just mostly, you know, dirt from being laid up for a while. So I hope that clarifies anything that's kind of gone on recently, as a lot has gone on for myself already this year. So any questions, leave them below in the comment section and I'll have to get back to them. But there'll be plenty more videos to come, hopefully of this LG, and definitely of the Samsung if it continues to work properly. You can tell I don't have much hope with these things, but maybe I should have a bit more confidence with these machines that they will last. But you know, you can't trust anything these days. Nothing lasts 5 minutes, you know, even when you repair them. But don't get me wrong, sometimes they can last, but you know, it's all down to the machine, really. So I think I'll see you in my next video. Hopefully it'll be of the Samsung or this LG. If I get them to go, I'll be making sure to make lots of videos of these, as you know, it's worth it. I mean, I've never had an LG before, so if we can get it to go and I'll get some videos of it, then it'd be quite good, because I don't really think there's many videos of this on YouTube, to be fair. So it'd be good to make some videos if I can get it to work. But it needs a good deep clean before then, if it does work. Right then, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.